Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Lisa Kessler, Interim Associate Dean of the College of Agriculture. Welcome to the 2014 commencement ceremony for the College of Agriculture at Cal Poly Pomona. We are very pleased that you are joining us today in honoring this year's candidates. In a moment, we will begin the processional. The College of Agriculture commencement ceremony is one steeped in academic tradition and pomp, dating to medieval times. It is marked by the familiar academic regalia with the black of the gowns and mortarboards, the maize of the tassels, and the colors of the hoods having remained unchanged for centuries. The detail of the gowns and the hoods are significant in themselves, and each of the candidates is wearing the academic costume appropriate to the candidate's accomplishments. Commencement from the College of Agriculture is not only a recognition of the academic accomplishments of the candidates, but also a rite of passage in which the agriculture profession welcomes its newest members. While it is a happy occasion, it is also a dignified one, befitting the achievement of these candidates' new status of professional responsibility. Please help us maintain the appropriate decorum. As a courtesy to all, please silence your cell phones and refrain from using loud noisemakers. Thank you for your cooperation. We're now ready to confer 428 degrees in agriculture this year. Welcome to the 2014 commencement ceremony for the College of Agriculture. Our mace bearer today is Dr. Mark Meskin, Professor of Human Nutrition and Food Science, College of Agriculture. Carrying our college banner is Dawn Claridge, Human Nutrition and Food Science major. Introducing our master's candidates from Agricultural Science, Animal Science, Nutrition and Food Science, and Plant Science. Carrying the banner for the Apparel Merchandising and Management Department is Noemi Boldizar. Veterinary Science Department is Thalea Kretsch. Carrying the banner for the Food Marketing, Agribusiness, and Food Industry Management and Agricultural Science Department is Fatima Tamayo. For the Human Nutrition and Food Science Department is Janet Senger. Carrying the banner for the Plant Science Department is John Bennett.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, please, would you remove your caps? Let's now recognize Nathan Villamore, who will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Thank you, Nathan, for that beautiful rendition. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the College of Agriculture's 2014 commencement exercises. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the college, I offer congratulations to our graduates and a special welcome to the families, friends who join us today. Many people have worked hard for you to reach your commencement. The faculty who pass their enthusiasm for knowledge and provide you with the ability to perform as professionals in your discipline, the staff who see you on your ongoing support for learning, and to many professionals who give their time and energy to make their college even stronger. Let's recognize them now. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the distinguished members of the platform party. I ask each of them to stand as I read their names, but please hold your applause until they all have been introduced. Starting with the back row, Mr. John McGuthrie, Vice President for Information Technology and Chief Information Officer. Michelle Stoddard, Vice President for University Advancement. Dr. Douglas Freer, Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. Martin Sancho Madriz, Chairman of the Human Nutrition and Food Science Department. Marty Evanson, distinguished alumnus. Dr. Brock Sandlin, Chairman of the Animal Veterinary Science Department. Professor Dan Hostetler, recipient of the Provost Award for Excellence in Service. Dr. Valerie Milano, Chairman of the Plant Science and Food and Marketing and Agribusiness Management and Agricultural Sciences Departments. Dr. Stephen Garcia, Vice President for Administrative Affairs, Chief Financial Officer. Andre Jackson, Class Gift Presenter. Dr. Peter Kilduff, Chairman of the Apparel Merchandising and Management Department. Dr. Martin Dembor, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. J. Michael Ortiz, President of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. Dr. Lisa Kessler, Interim Associate Dean. Don Claridge, McPhee Awardee. Dr. Mark Meskin, our mace bearer. And in our audience, we have special guests, Mrs. Betty Ortiz, our First Lady and wife of President J. Michael Ortiz. Ms. Sandy Davis, newly retired Executive Assistant, President's Office, and my wife, Betty Young. Thank you all very much for helping us mark this special occasion. It is now my honor to call on President Michael J. Ortiz, President of Cal Poly Pomona, for his welcome and introductory remarks. President Ortiz.
Thank you, Dean Young. Commencement. It's the moment our graduates and their families have worked toward for years. I earned my bachelor's degree 44 years ago, and I remember that moment like it was yesterday. Put down your phones and programs and take it in. You did it. Your college experience doesn't end today. The lessons you've learned, the friends you've made, and the challenges that you've overcome will carry you throughout your lifetime. Stay connected, stay informed, and stay involved. Think about joining the Alumni Association. I'm sure that you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't know if I want to do that or not, but believe me, long term, you'll be glad you did. I'm retiring this December, and through the years, I've learned that you can never reach a new high point in your life alone. For me, I've relied on my wife, Betty Fay, to be a partner and friend through all of our highs and lows. At Cal Poly Pomona, I've relied on the expertise of countless people that include the great faculty and staff on this campus and people like Sandy Davis, our newly retired executive assistant, who has worked with 4 of the 5 presidents at Cal Poly Pomona. Commencement is made possible because of people like Teresa Navarro Rodriguez and Diane Carter and their dedicated team who actually put the commencement ceremony together. Now I want you to think back to your experience. You did not arrive at this point by accident. Through dedication and hard work, you have reached this pinnacle. But remember, no one has ever completed this journey alone. Many people, including professors and loved ones, have traveled with you and helped you along the way. How did they guide you, support you, encourage you? Graduates, please join me in recognizing the special people in your life by standing and giving them a well-deserved round of applause. Class of 2014, as you move into graduate school or into the workforce, head out with confidence. Cal Poly Pomona graduates have an edge. Your classroom experiences actually involve solving real-world problems. You've studied under experienced faculty, and you have been immersed in one of the most diverse campuses in the nation. You don't just understand diversity, you've lived it. Now that investment you made in your education will pay off many times over. In 2014, College Return on Investment Report, Cal Poly Pomona ranks 74th out of 1,300 colleges and universities. That put us in the top 6% of the country. We are a regional powerhouse. Payscale.com found our return on investment stronger than local universities like USC and UCLA. In fact, we place better than all of the UCs except Berkeley and San Diego. But you didn't have to pay UC level tuition, did you? Or the high-priced costs of private colleges and private education. Did you know you didn't pay the full cost of your education? California taxpayers and university donors supported your education. At the end of this month, we will close the campaign for Cal Poly Pomona. Donors have given more than $150 million in gifts, pledges, and bequests to keep our university at the cutting edge. Did you know why they would give so much to Cal Poly Pomona? It's because they believe in you. They believe in your potential to succeed in the workforce and contribute to the greater good. Years from now, there will come a time in your life when you will look back on your career and marvel at your good fortune. Remember those who invested in you and consider paying it forward so that you too can pave the way for future generations. Today is your day. You have completed one of the most important journeys of your lifetime. As you consider your next steps, I urge you to head out with confidence. Seize the opportunities before you because you have never been more ready. Congratulations to each of you.
At this time, I would like to introduce the senior class representative from the College of Agriculture, Andre Jackson. Andre served as Publicity Chair for Ag Council from 2013 to 2014, and Andre will now present the senior class gift to President Ortiz.
Thank you. President Ortiz, Dean Young, members of the stage party, distinguished guests, and fellow members of the class of 2014. Every year, the graduating class leaves behind something for the campus community. It's about leaving the university better than it was when we got here. This tradition succeeds every year because of another long-standing tradition at Cal Poly Pomona, philanthropy. This senior class gift is entirely funded by donations from the graduating seniors. This is truly a gift from us to the students. Our gift will be to purchase and install electronic charging stations throughout campus, study, and gathering places. These stations will charge cell phones, tablets, e-readers, and even laptops. President Ortiz, I am honored to present this gift from the class of 2014.
Who would have thought when I started 10 years ago that we'd be applauding electric connections so you could charge your iPhones, this will be something that the students that follow you and complete their degrees at Cal Poly will greatly appreciate. Thank you, class of 2014.
At this time, I am pleased to have the privilege of presenting the Julian A. McPhee Honors Award for Student Excellence, an award the university has been given since 2002. Julian McPhee was the founding president of both Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He provided more than 35 years of dedicated service to the citizens of California. Because of his visionary leadership and astute negotiating skills, Californians can now point with pride to two of the nation's finest universities founded on the educational principle, learn by doing. This special award was thoughtfully funded by an anonymous donor who was a colleague of Julian McPhee and honors a current graduating senior who exhibits excellence in his or her academic endeavors. This year's our outstanding scholar from the College of Agriculture is presented to Dawn Clarich, who will be the recipient of the Julian A. McPhee Award. Dawn excelled in her academics as a student in human nutrition and food science and earned a 3.99 GPA. Dawn, please join us at the podium. Let me tell you a little bit about Dawn. Dawn is a giver to her community. She works as a child development mentor and coaches children in gymnastics. After graduation, Dawn will continue her education in the San Diego State University Nutrition Science Master's Program. It is there she hopes to conduct research that will find cures through treatment with nutrition. President Ortiz, would you please join us at the lectern?
I'll find it. Graduates, friends, family, and faculty, it is truly an honor to be standing here as your 2014 McPhee Scholar for the College of Agriculture, the best and the brightest college at Cal Poly Pomona. So this is one of those experiences you never forget, so I'm very excited to be sharing it with all of you tonight. I wanted to start off with a few words of wisdom, and who better to quote than Buddha? He once said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This is a powerful message that I hope you all take to heart. To me, it means don't limit yourself. Everyone has the potential for greatness. And today is proof of that. You're here, you've arrived. All your hard work has finally paid off, and soon you will have your diploma to show for it. But there's more than that. You've acquired new skills and ways of thinking, your world is expanding, and hopefully you've made some unforgettable memories along the way. Even though this is the finale of your senior year, it is merely just the beginning of the new chapter that each of you are about to embark on. Some of you will be pursuing new careers, while others of us couldn't get enough school and will be starting graduate and professional school programs. Wherever your road leads you, make the most out of each opportunity. You may not get another one like it. Also, remember to stay true to yourself and stick to what you're passionate about. That's probably the best advice I've ever received from teachers and parents alike, and it's worked for me. So thank you for everyone who has supported me along this journey. It hasn't always been easy, but it would have been much more difficult if it weren't for my mom and my dad, friends and family, and especially to my professors who have dedicated countless hours to helping me achieve my full potential. For that, I am truly grateful and must say that we are successful because of your commitment to us. So thank you, and to all my fellow graduates, let's go out and make them proud.
It is my privilege to introduce the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Martin Dembord.
Thank you, Dean Young. With the generous and continued support of President Ortiz, the university recognizes the abilities and accomplishments of our faculty with the Provost Awards for Excellence. These awards are given in 3 areas: in teaching, service, and scholarly and creative activity, and they acknowledge the centrality of the faculty in making Cal Poly Pomona the superb place of teaching and scholarship that it is. Awardees are chosen in a rigorous process, and they have to meet the very highest standards of excellence in their disciplines. And it's a great pleasure for me to announce that the 2014 Award for Excellence in Service goes to Dan Hostetler, Professor of Plant Science in the College of Agriculture. Let's give him an applause. And let me say a little bit about him before we go on. Professor Hostetler, or I guess as most of us know him, Dan, has served our campus for the last 38 years. He started as farm supervisor, teaching in and chairing the plant and soil science department, and also overseeing the agronomy farm. He's been a permanent fixture on the farm, and generations of students have learned from him. During his tenure, Professor Hostetler has served in numerous capacities because he really doesn't know how to say no. He served as plant science department chair for 20 years, and he's also served for several of those years as chair of the Agribusiness and Food Industry Management Agriculture Science Department. He served on the Cal Poly Pomona Foundation Board of Directors. He's partnered with the Orange County Farm Bureau to offer farmers markets there. And he was also instrumental in bringing us Agriscapes and the Farm Store, which is a wonderful facility that I highly recommend to you. And he's worked with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. He was named the Kika de la Garza Fellow for Educators in Hispanic Serving Students in 2007, and he served as a fellow advisor in 2008 and 2009 and 2011 and 2012. And he's been recognized by the College of Agriculture as students as an outstanding advisor and as outstanding teacher. In addition, he's also served as unofficial Director of Development for the College of Agriculture. He's focused on raising money for student scholarships, support for the farm operations, and materials for student and faculty research, as well as production support for the farm, which employs student workers and generates revenue from crops that we sell both in the farm store and at local farmers markets. And he's also generated additional cash for extracurricular activities for students, so that they can participate in intercollegiate competitions and club activities and so on. It's really individuals like Dan who give so tirelessly and generously to you, our students, that foster an environment in which you can learn, thrive, and achieve your educational goals. So thank you, Dan, Professor Dan Hostetler.
Good evening. What a nice venue, tonight to be out here in the cool weather instead of tomorrow at 3 or something like that. It's a great honor and privilege for me to accept this prestigious Provost Award for Cal Poly Pomona. Many of you know Cal Poly Pomona has been my home for the past, actually 43 years. I did the 5-year plan as a student as well. So if you add that to the 38, you come up with 38, or with 43. I'm hoping that each and every one of you have the opportunities that I did as I walked across this same stage that many years ago. It's really been a great honor to work for Cal Poly and to be mentored by many people here. Be aware as you enter the workforce, though, that service means much more than just putting in the years. Just, be aware of that. Much more than putting in the years. You're all entering a career, each and every one of you, that does not know Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Animals, plants, foods, retailing to the public, they know no time off. There's no time off. If you've not experienced this, you will in your first year of employment. You'll be out delivering a foal or a calf, or fixing an irrigation line in the middle of the night, or inspecting a load of tomatoes at the cannery, or running out of dye for fabric in the middle of the night. And this happens not only in the middle of the night, but Saturday and Sunday too. Most of the time Sunday and in the middle of the night. I encourage you to accept these challenges because in all reality, service builds strength, character, and it builds loyalty to your employer. People will immediately know that they can count on you and rely on you, and that's important. You'll not receive the rewards of this immediately, probably not in your first or second or third year of employment, but you'll be investing in making your organization a lot better in the long run. You really will. Service will help you build relationships quickly with mentors and leaders who, believe it or not, the first year, they know more than you because they had their master's degree done at the School of Hard Knocks. They learn from experience. So be aware that, work with these mentors, work with these leaders. Beyond workplace service, go the extra mile and become involved in your professional societies. Become a lifetime learner, a lifelong learner. You'll see licensing requirements that we have never seen in our careers. You'll see those as you go through and get involved in your employment. Involve community service in your portfolio as well as professional service in your portfolio. The need for public education for this industry is staggering. People do not know how your food, clothing, fiber, anything else gets to the marketplace. Most people don't even have a clue as to how it gets there, so become an advocate for that. My rewards in my service career, they haven't been monetary. My rewards come from seeing all of my students succeed in the classroom and the laboratory and gaining employment and eventually becoming leaders in the #1 and most essential industry in the state of California, and that is agriculture. There you go. Your education's prepared you well. Go out and get it done.
Thank you very much, Dan. At this time, I would like to introduce Marty Evanson, our distinguished alumnus. Marty, please join us at the podium. Marty graduated in 1963 with a degree in animal husbandry. After backpacking in the world, visiting 32 countries, Marty joined his father in the meat distribution business. 8 years later, he, with some friends, founded Jobbers Meat Packing Company, and in 1991, co-founded the Ice Cold Storage Company in Vernon. In 2013, Marty pledged $100,000 to support an endowed scholarship for undergraduate animal science students. Thank you, Marty, for your continued support. Each year at this time, it's my pleasure to honor special members of the faculty and staff members who have contributed significantly to the college and to our students. Beginning with the Outstanding Teacher of the Year Award for 2013-2014, Dr. Terrence Fujimoto. Terry, please come up, Terry. Dr. Fujimoto is a professor in the plant science department for over 35 years. Dr. Fujimoto has taught, advised, and supported students, faculty, and staff, and he was instrumental in the creation of the new greenhouses and even started up a hydroponic program to grow greenhouse tomatoes and other kinds of vegetables. The numerous nominations on his behalf were testament not only to his outstanding teaching abilities, but also to an outstanding co-worker. We wish you the best of luck as you start your new journey as a retiree. An honorarium comes to this award. Congratulations. Each year, the college recognizes the efforts of all of our advisors who guide our students through their academic and personal needs. This year, the College of Agriculture Mac H. Kennington Outstanding Advisor of the Year Award for 2013-2014 is Professor Michelle Rash. Michelle, please join us at the back room. As one of our first advisors freshmen interact with, Michelle Rash becomes the glue that new students need as they travel through college life. Professor Rash is highly respected by her students, and many of them think of her as their second mom. One student shared how she saw the potential in me and gave me the extra push to better myself and my experience at Cal Poly Pomona. Professor Rash students remain with her for years long after graduation. Without a doubt, she deserves the Mac H. Kennington Award as Advisor of the Year for 2013-2014. An honorarium accompanies this award. Congratulations. The College of Agriculture Outstanding Staff of the Year Award for 2013-2014 is Mr. Duncan McKee. Duncan, please join us at the podium.
Thank you, Danielle.
Duncan is a structural support technician for the Soil Science Laboratory in the Plant Science Department. However, for those who know Duncan, we know that his title should include distributor of course materials, stocker, tutor, lecturer, landscaper, safety trainer, record keeper, and most important of all, handyman. Duncan can be seen across the campus assisting anyone who needs help. A faculty member stated, most of you know, Duncan exudes much warmth and sincerity, and has excellent personality, gets along with others, and is always willing to help people out. Congratulations, Duncan. He is obviously well-deserved of this honor.
Thank you, Dean Young. Thank you very much.
The college also recognizes students who have achieved excellence in the area of leadership. An honorarium and a plaque are awarded to these recognitions. Distinguished alum Johnny Andrews, a graduate of our program 19 years ago, has generously funded this award of leadership. John was very active in the college and also in the ASI activities. The College of Agriculture Outstanding Undergraduate Leader for 2013-2014 And this year's recipient of the John E. Andrews Scholarship Award is Mr. John Bennett. John, would you please join us at the lectern? John is a true scholar and leader. Not only has John managed to maintain a near-perfect GPA in his pursuit of a degree in plant science, he has done so while being president of Los Rancheros in the crop judging team and participated in several competitions. And assisting in the campus research projects, you see John very active in those types of projects and activities. One of his professors said, "You'll find John to be an extraordinary, inquisitive, hardworking student." Last year, John was named one of 20 national recognized American Society of Agronomy Golden Scholars. John has been accepted to graduate programs at both UC Riverside and Texas A&M. John, congratulations and best of luck for you in your graduate career. A scholarship accompanies this award. Nanette Ross is currently pursuing a master's degree in agriculture with a subplan in nutrition and food science. In addition to her classes, Nanette has been involved with Pumpkin Festival, baking over 1,400 loaves of pumpkin bread. Is a member of the Food Science and Nutrition Club, Phi U Society, is a member of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and California Dietetics Association, as well as the Orange County Dietetics Association. One of her professors described her as an excellent student, a fast learner. She's responsible, mature, organized, and has the heart and intellectual ability to become a registered dietitian. And she has an excellent work ethic. Congratulations, Nan, on a scholarship accompanies this award. Well done. At this time, I would call upon Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Martin Denboer, to present the candidates for the master's degree. Provost Denboer.
Will the candidates for the degree, for the Master of Science degree with options in agriculture science, animal science, nutrition and food science, and plant science please rise? And will the announcers and marshals proceed to their locations as well? President Ortiz, I present to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Agriculture with options in agricultural science, animal science, nutrition and food science, and plant science. These candidates have completed the requirements for the Master of Science degree as prescribed by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Candidates for the master's degree. You have heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Science in Agriculture with options in agricultural science, animal science and nutrition, and food science, with all the rights, honors, and opportunities appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
As a reminder, each master's degree candidate should come forward as directed by the ushers. With your hood folded over your left arm, stop at the reader table, then proceed to the platform to be hooded with your name is called, and receive your diploma cover, and then recess down the center ramp and back to your seat.
Joining in the hooding is Dr. Alan Petty, Major Professor from the Animal and Veterinary Sciences Department. Heather Lynn Acuff. Krista Marie Page. Joining in the hooding is Dr. Brock Sandelin, Chair of the Animal and Veterinary Sciences Department. Krista Marie Page. Joining in the hooding is Dr. Jim Downer, Major Professor from the Plant Sciences Department. Tracy Takeuchi. Joining in the hooding is Dr. Terry Fujimoto, Major Professor from the Plant Sciences Department. Ranil Pereira. Joining in the hooding is Dr. Valerie Milano, Chair of the Plant Sciences and Agricultural Science Department. Dennis Dean Blackman. Joining in the hooding is Dr. Bonnie Burns Whitmore, Major Professor from the Human Nutrition and Food Sciences Department. Yi Chi Chen. Amy Helene Town. Joining in the hooding is Dr. Lisa Kessler, Interim Associate Dean and Major Professor from the Human Nutrition and Food Sciences Department. Charlotte Lorraine Kerber.
He's the one that is missing his card.
Again, to our Masters of Science graduates, congratulations for the hard work and dedication to your scholarly work. Your efforts support the faculty scholarship of which the college and the university take pride. You have made the faculty proud to work with you. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science please rise? Bachelor of Science. There you are. President Ortiz, I present to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degree for the College of Agriculture. These candidates have completed the requirements for the baccalaureate degree as prescribed by the state of California and the trustees of the state of California State Universities, and they have been recommended for their degrees by the faculty of the California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Candidates for the baccalaureate degree. You have heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness and Food Industry Management, Agricultural Science, Animal Health Science, Animal Science, Apparel Merchandise and Marketing Management, Food Marketing and Agribusiness Management, Foods and Nutrition, Food Science and Technology, and Plant Science. with all the rights, honors, and opportunities appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
To the class of
In
2000...
academic, excuse me, Dean, I'm not done here. In academic tradition, the student who has not yet earned a degree wears the tassel on the mortarboard on the right side. When the degree is conferred, the scholar moves the tassel to the left and joins a select company of scholars. In recognition of your new status, will all recipients of the baccalaureate degree move the tassel to the left?
To the class of 2014, I commend you for your effort and accomplishments. Please be seated. Now, the ushers for the college, please escort the candidates, beginning with the Department of Apparel, Merchandising, and Management for the Bachelor of Science degrees to the stage.
From the Department of Apparel, Merchandising, and Management, joining in the presentation is Dr. Peter Kidliff, Chair of the Department.
Diane Paola Castillo.
Sarah Lauren Sprague.
Julia Lopez de Sanchez.
Emma Rose Simon, cum laude.
Elizabeth Lee.
Brandy Nicole Wong.
Rebecca Valdez.
Natalie Ann Harlicker, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors Scholar.
Leila Jalanbo.
Brittany Elizabeth Golda.
Lauren Nicole Kruger.
Noemi Boldazar.
Catherine Miyuki Takadi.
Ashley Nicole Handel.
Joelle Dolly.
Ashley Catherine Allstat.
Genesis Estrella Flores.
Amber Melissa Menevar.
Emily E. Chun Sai.
Roxanne Alexandra Beal.
Rachel Ihara.
Brandy Lealoha Hill.
Dominique Mary Yamin.
Damaris Tadaha.
Dorothy Marie Figueroa, cum laude.
Riza Laura Tayo Piamonte.
Jessica Gozdecki.
Daniela Arias.
Gabrielle Harun Rodriguez.
Lauren Elizabeth Sties.
Gabriela Olivia Balcorta.
Veronica Elena Vejas.
Marisol Reynoso.
Amy Aparecida Chin Chan.
Estela Gonzalez.
Shirley Herrera.
Jenna Emmy Stredwick.
Brenda Yvette Mendez, magna cum laude.
Tawny Brody.
Priscilla Ooh.
Camille Louise Roach.
Tatiana Chantel Arden.
Sarah Leinani Dumlau.
Jennifer Diane Tabaris.
Stephanie Jean Kuhn.
Alyssa Horici, magna cum laude.
Nicole Patrice Guillieri.
Jessica Donahue.
Irene Vung.
Megan Sweeney.
Monica Louise Baca.
Cecily Joy Nava.
Rebecca Ann Berger.
Tiffany Michelle Cuenca.
Ria Bote.
Stephanie Gonzalez.
Shawanda Michelle Kinsey.
E. Bai.
Naila Argelius Chung.
Kai Rao.
Lyric Lace Alvarez.
Lucia Zhu.
Dolores Cortez.
Shirley Yu.
Jennifer Ann Cello.
Natalie Jean Visk.
Thelma Cruz.
Chelsea Rose Warrington.
Brittany Natanya Bach.
Olivia Ann Inks, cum laude.
Ellen Sora Kim.
Samantha Brill.
Shannon Kim, cum laude.
Katie Haynes.
Eunice S. Kim.
Brittany Marisa Martinez.
Monique Claudine Garcia.
Pearl Monique Barajas.
Kayla Marie Johnson.
Kim Lee.
Taylor Antonia Stout.
Chris Fong.
Genesis Vargas, cum laude.
Ariana Rendon. Terry Tanari Hernandez. Vania Veronica Soto. Stephanie Elizabeth Irene. This completes the awarding of degrees for the Department of Apparel, Merchandising, and Management. From the Department of Animal and Veterinary Science, joining in the presentation is Dr. Brock Sandelin, Chair of the Department.
Claudia Jeanette Torres.
Veronica Raimundo.
Emily Nicole Torres.
Paige Marie Murphy.
Hannah Miller.
Amanda L. Rodriguez.
Vanessa Nadine de la Torre.
Christy Marie Marburger.
Alexandra Ann Glenn, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Brianna Nicole Espejo, Kellogg Honors Scholar.
Fiona Callan Lair, cum laude.
Brittany Dawn Mazurki.
Stephanie Guillen.
Brianna Christine O'Sullivan, magna cum laude.
Cindy Maricela Fuentes.
Christopher Edward Ramsden, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors Scholar.
Melinda Diego.
Naji Samantha Suarez.
Celia Rodriguez.
Stephanie Annalise Prado.
Andrea Gomez.
Beatriz Flores.
Natalie Valenzuela.
Christina Mendoza.
Jordan Alyssa Nelson.
Amanda Josephine Sanchez.
Brittany Alexandria Rainey.
Ariel Annalise Whitney.
Taryn Passerini.
Erin Christie Madrid.
David Leonel Urrutia.
Ashley Aguayo.
Miranda Page Common.
Erica Contreras.
Dana Lauren Courier, magna cum laude.
Jennifer Lizeth Reyes.
Anna Patricia Guzman.
Danielle Lynn Benware.
Catherine Cogburn.
Elizabeth Perez, cum laude.
Jacqueline Srivongpanish.
Rocio Romero.
Amaris Chan.
Lisa Marie Capiscar, cum laude.
Rebecca Grace Flores.
Cindy Gabriela Sabaya.
Andrea Agayan, cum laude.
Noelle Guadalupe Navarro.
Ana Lucia Patricia Aliaga.
Paulette Diaz.
Eleanor Knowlton Anderson, cum laude.
Stephanie Renee Hawk.
Gabriela M. Berry, cum laude.
Emily Jean Stigall.
Serena Leanne Beaver.
Alexandria Morgan Macias.
Courtney K. Stabline.
Jennifer Lynn Cotton.
Morgan Brittany Salazar.
Nicole Diane Paulden, cum laude.
Danae G. Sandoval.
Christiana Otterson.
Mary Louise Palacios.
Kaylee Otterson.
Brett Havis, magna cum laude.
Andriana Margaret Checo.
Laura Lindsay Fogg, cum laude.
Ariel Morrow Simmons.
Spencer Ross Fennick, magna cum laude. Marlene Anayi Belmar, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors. Salea Kretsch, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors. Max Yim. Belinda Eileen Krempa. Michelle Victoria. Mildred Muniz. Jacqueline Ganser. Amber Walker.
This completes the awarding of the degrees for the Department of Animal and Veterinary Science. From the Department of Food Marketing and Agribusiness Management, Ag Science, joining in the presentation is Dr. Valerie Milano, Chair of the Department.
Nicole Lauren Lockshaw.
Fatima Therese Ramirez Tamayo, summa cum laude.
Chad Croissant.
Robin Dylan Reese, cum laude.
Emma Paulina Godinez.
Taylor Ann Zunstein.
Christina Carrillo.
Khalees Bryant.
Mercedes Caramatori.
Erin Michelle Miller.
Carlos R. Ramirez.
Heidi Grace Lippert.
Megan Page Dean.
Sarah Michelle Bryan.
Kyle Robert Thielman.
Jamie Renee Amesquita, magna cum laude.
Diane Renee Johnson.
Laura Jane Thomas.
Eric Randall Keenan.
Kristen Ann Parker.
Emerson Elmore, summa cum laude.
Rachel Elizabeth Taylor.
Brooke Noel Mayotte.
Daniel Frank Reyes.
Andrea Michelle Lopez.
Jessica Marie Burbis.
Sean William Tracy.
Abraham Gomez.
Ileana Cortez.
Sarah Lorraine Elizondo.
Eric Yee.
Vina T. Abby Fidel, magna cum laude.
David James Morgan.
Tara Corinne Parker.
Hector Mejia.
Anam Bilal Nur Muhammad.
Danielle Marie Hickman.
Felicia Reno.
Heather Suzanne Clark.
Molly Diane Volpe.
Sarah Elizabeth Riffle.
Elsa Laura Plasencia.
Amanda Nicole Adams.
Maria Andrea Santa Maria.
Brittany Garcia.
Jessica Patricia Quitmeyer.
Lisbeth Pichardo Cabigas.
Cassie Ann Thistle.
Aishatul Abjamil. Paul Elarco del Mundo. Jessie Rose Poblacion. Kyle William Leinbach. Wiltonson Arif Gunawan, magna cum laude. Stephanie Halim. Brittany Ann Matthews. Derek Brian Chin, cum laude. Cassandra Olivia. Sally Chio. Meng Min Tan, cum laude. Fung Wandin Nguyen, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
This completes the awarding of degrees for the Food Marketing and Agribusiness Management Ag Science. From the Department of Human Nutrition and Food Science, joining in the presentation is Dr. Martin Sancho Madriz, Chair of the Department.
Dana Lauren McAllister, cum laude.
Romina Bardalis.
Nicole Lee Almanza.
Scott Brandon Kellum.
Catherine Park.
Yuja May.
Amber Marie Goforth.
Ruba Nazir Albatar, summa cum laude.
Sarah Danielle Spence.
Leah Kimberly Baker.
Genjira Soreka, summa cum laude.
Mariano Arjona.
Sarah Elizabeth Lai Ping To.
Rima Alkas, cum laude.
Marissa Marie Martinez.
Jen Mei Zhao.
Raven Cheyenne Arias, summa cum laude.
Laura Santo.
Jennifer Lynn Tincopa.
Hannah Mei Chuang.
Catherine Ann Josenhans.
Janet Singer, summa cum laude, President Council Scholar.
Stephanie Ann Probst.
Zaina Twainey.
Summer Hadrus, magna cum laude.
Nivy Rodriguez.
Jennifer Inga, cum laude.
Allison Christina Abdallah.
Julia Catherine Bahonik.
Palin Chalion.
Daniela Ramirez.
Betty Coe.
Stephanie Rose Leos, magna cum laude.
Cipriana Marina Huerta.
Veronica Carmona, McNair Scholar.
Marissa Jennifer Gonzalez, summa cum laude.
Lindy Lee Larson, cum laude.
Crystal Ortiz, cum laude.
Carla Sabrina Avila.
Nancy Gamboa.
Coralie Mesa.
Kayla Gahuman, magna cum laude.
Alexandra Cristina Uribe.
Courtney Kayla Gomez.
Carolina Serrano, cum laude.
Ayako Tamai.
Dawn Claridge, summa cum laude.
Jennifer Torres, summa cum laude.
Kan Wang Trung, magna cum laude.
Bethlehem Tanasi, cum laude.
Osvaldo Campos.
Jessica Virginia Losi.
Po Yan Chu.
Michelle Christine Bohinski.
Soying Kwan, cum laude.
Renee Patterson, cum laude.
Shaodi Wang.
Angela Christina Ida.
Jessica Wang.
Ashley C. Sells.
Daryl Lyndon Collison.
Karina Diaz Infante.
Keith Desmond Comrie Jr.
Katie Jane Lewis.
Rachel Lorraine Rossi.
Rachel Elizabeth Miller.
Lisa Marie Ruiz.
Amy Choi. This completes the awarding of degrees for human nutrition and food science. From the Department of Plant Science, joining in the presentation is Dr. Valerie Milano, Chair of the department.
Lucio Adrian Zepeda.
John Samuel Bennett, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors Scholar.
Guy Thomas Bonatati.
Mark Tan.
Jonathan Asher Allred.
Timothy Michael Langford.
Jess D. Williams.
James Radowich.
Nicole R. Hastings, cum laude.
Dustin James Kronemeyer, magna cum laude.
Kieran John Dowling.
Ryan Burr.
Zachary Burkle, magna cum laude.
Hannah Elizabeth Neufeld, summa cum laude.
Angela Marie Vanoni.
Ashley Van Fleet.
Gina Rose Marzolo, cum laude.
Leslie Hernandez.
Adam Donicio Martinez.
Amanda Dolman.
Benjamin Odin Perea.
Cassandra Marie Bullock.
Robert Braverman.
Diana Raquel Zafra, magna cum laude, McNair Scholar.
Eduardo Almaraz Avila.
Jed Ball.
Fabian Perez.
Andre Jamal Jackson.
Again, our congratulations, best wishes to all of our graduates of class of 2014.
In this environment, rank has its privileges, so I'm going to intervene here and say that not only do we have the class of 2014, but as many of you know and many of you may not know, the Dean of the College of Agriculture, Les Young, is also a class of 2014 as he retires this year. So thank you for your many years of service, Les.
I wish to welcome you as our newest alumni and invite you to join the Cal Poly Pomona Alumni Association to maintain your ties to the university and to donate to your wonderful class gift. Will the Bachelor of Science and Master of Science recipients please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the class of 2014 College of Agriculture. In closing, there are several individuals I'd like to recognize that helped out Penny Fody and Maribel Foster, who coordinated today's event, and assistant Sherry Weikart, Duncan McKee, Donna Ha, and Sarah De La Parra. I would like to acknowledge Dr. Meskin for our standing mace bearer. I would like to thank the department chairs for their dedication and hard work on behalf of all our students to ensure they successfully complete their degrees. I appreciate the presence of all our vice presidents who have graciously participated in our ceremony. You have enhanced the quality of our program and our student memories. I wish to thank Dr. Michael Ortiz for his message to our graduates. Would the audience please remain seated during the recessional at the conclusion of the faculty recessional of 2014. Commencement will be formally concluded. Thank you all for being with us tonight and making this a very special evening.